I'm gonna have to delete it. No, I'll delete it.
Here we go. All right. There goes another 30 minutes more. Can we finish recording? Can we finish?
Okay, I'm gonna have to
podcast?
post it later. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
post it later.
All right. There you go. Cool. All right, guys. So today is episode 1 of Sin Filtro, and follow me this way, or actually, I'll let you lead the way. And we are getting ready to interview my first guest, which is Marisol Espinosa, Home Loans with Marisol, and here she is, coming right at you.
Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be on Sin Filtro.
Well, everybody, welcome to episode 1 of Sin Filtro. And Mari, we're gonna have to check to see, make sure that name is not taken, because we want to make sure we're all good. But yes. Mari, thank you so much for being my first guest on Sin Filtro. We actually just came up with the name maybe 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And it happened by coincidence.
Yep.
And so you actually mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's what we're gonna call it. So
yeah, because Efren, he always tells me, no filter, no filter.
Oh, shit. Excuse my language. I fucking hate that, because siempre me ponen las pinches pestañas and, then people laugh at me and I know it gets more content. Yes, they do. You don't get those messages.
It helps with the engagement, though.
Oh my God. Well, not the type of engagement that I want to engage on.
Right.
But anyway, so Mari, ponte cómoda. Yo sí me voy a poner cómodo.
Okay.
Porque estamos en Sin Filtro. So,
yep.
Si suena el teléfono, contéstalo, me vale gorro. Aquí
okay.
Estamos para lo que vaya a pasar. So,
I like these chairs.
I know, I do like them too. I really like the material. What kind of material is it?
Vegan leather, I think, no?
Vegan leather.
I don't know.
So, ¿quiere decir que la vaca nada más comía puro pinche pasto o qué?
No, it just means that it's not made out of vaca.
Oh, complete opposite then.
It's a fake vaca.
It's a fake vaca.
It's a processed, GMO-free vaca.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of being vegan, are you back to being vegan?
No,
What's the deal with that?
I just feel like, I don't know if we could talk about the U.S. government, but I feel like
I'm not going to get censored on my first episode.
I know.
Okay.
But okay. It's just like at this point, it's like pick your poison.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll eat meat, sometimes I don't. I try to eat a very healthy, balanced diet.
Okay, and I apologize if you guys see me checking in my cell phone, but we actually just put up a story about what people wanted me to ask Marisol and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So I will be, checking in. So, so just again, this is Sin Filtro. So Mari, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you were in my brother's Scott podcast not too long ago. That episode has not been released yet. So what did you guys talk about in that one?
I mean, we talked about literally everything. Kind of like my beginnings, and then also like me going and joining Western Pioneer. So
okay. I
feel like we covered a lot, actually.
Yeah.
How was your podcast with Scott?
It was good too. I got the opportunity to show another side of Scott that not many people see. But I actually, he was the one that actually inspired me to just get this going. I had this dream in my head, and actually right now when we were talking about the setup, I just told you that this is exactly how I envisioned it, and I'm excited for it. So let's get started with some of the questions that I wanted to ask you.
Okay. Wait, before we start the questions though, because we're talking about visions and everything.
Okay.
And I still remember that vision you had, and I feel like we're there. Because do you remember the vision that you had about you being in a building and then looking out the office like window, and you were like in a multi-story, and like your office is literally like above. So it's like, it's crazy, you like literally manifested that. And I feel like it's gonna continue to grow from there. So
I've always been the type of person that I like to visualize things, and I still remember that in meditation, I was some of the events that I have attended with Danny Morell, and that one, I forgot the name of it actually. I think it was a higher self or something like that. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But I had this vision of myself being in business owner. Actually, it was a real estate office, then the one that I envisioned, and my office sat all the way at the top of that building. And I remember I could see myself like in a third person, and it was so vivid to me. I can tell you that the office was, see everything. I could see the lights underneath me. It was nighttime, and I was actually my hands are on my hip. I'm wearing a suit, and it was a pretty vivid to me. And there was actually an elevator on my office, and as my vision was going, I remember turning around because I heard the elevator open.
Yeah.
And it was my younger self actually. And I told myself, look at everything that you have accomplished. And so that's something that's, like I said, so vivid to me that I can tell you everything down to the colors. There's a big library on the opposite end of my office there. And it's just, like I said, it's so real to me. So, and you were actually one of the persons that actually first got me started on visualizations and, manifesting and stuff like that. And well, thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it's important, and I want to make sure that whoever I surround myself kind of has the same values, beliefs, and I believe in prayer. I believe in the, power of manifestation. I feel like your tongue is just what you speak is what you kind of.
I know, and we always catch ourselves, right?
You speak it into existence, I really do believe in that. So, yeah.
I know we always whenever anybody is like speaking negatively, especially you lately, I've been having to like tell you like, hey, like, restart.
We all have those moments, I feel like we're human, we're not perfect. But yeah, no, I appreciate it when you do correct me, because when I'm like low, you kind of are like, hey, like, yeah, I'm gonna, he always says, I'm gonna invite you to change your mindset. I'm like, oh God.
She hates it. You hate it. I know you hate it when I tell you that.
Yes, Dad. I will be more positive. I'm sorry I'm being a negative Nancy.
And then in return.
But then he's like positive Pablo over here.
Okay, so for those who don't know, negative Nancy and positive Pablo actually come from math, language. So, but we kind of make fun of it.
Yeah.
And we always try to catch each other. We want to make sure that, we're being in the same vibe, in the same frequency. I know some people are going to be like, what the heck is that? But honestly, it's nothing, nada del otro mundo. It's just, just us being like, we understand that there are frequencies and, and people vibrate at different, higher or lower frequencies. And it's a proven thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So does that mean that I don't believe in God? No, absolutely not. Yeah. God is, the Almighty to me. He's the reason why I'm still here, and all praise to Him. So so we do it to each other. Like when I'm like negative Nancy, like he'll be positive Pablo, and then when he needs a positive Pablo, then I become positive Pablo, and then we just always have each other's back and inspire each other and motivate each other to do better and to be better. Yeah. So. And actually, I do want to share, because, I do consider myself a man of faith. And I want to apologize to you in front of everybody because even though I am a man of faith, I don't think I've ever prayed with you until that one night where you couldn't fall asleep and I happened to still be on TikTok. Don't judge me. And it
was like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. I don't even know.
And so I was able to pray for you for the very first time, and that
was like the next morning, no? Like
it was the next morning. So
I remember because I was like, oh, what are you doing up? Like, because it will tell me like when someone's still on TikTok, like the green thing, and I'm like, bro, go to sleep. And like he's like, what are you doing up? Like that's a miracle. I ended up calling you in the morning, and then I remember you telling me like I don't know if I was just like stressed out or what. I just started to like basically just vomit like information and like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. And you're like, whoa. Like, can I just
calm the fuck down?
Like calm down. He's like, can I say a prayer for you? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I remember that. And I just, my apologies, I never done that. You know what I mean?
But, I mean, the fact that you just did it, honestly, you shouldn't apologize. Like that's amazing.
I know. But sometimes we forget that prayer is like the most powerful thing that we could actually do for one another. So my apologies that I had not done that because a lot of people don't understand that like we are almost like brother and sister. You know what I mean? And so not just because we do business together, but also, you with, Chewy, you guys are family to me, and you guys have, obviously, showed me that, you guys also care for me as family. So to me, that means a lot. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. So,
Yeah, no, and we appreciate you too because you're like, yeah, you're family to us. Like I feel like you take care of us, and like we also show that appreciation back.
yeah. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about our business, because I know that, a lot of people know us from, our TikToks or our dancing videos, how, some haters call it. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But we always have fun in our office all the time. And thank you, because you're the one that puts it together. I mean, you guys should have seen it before, we got started. She had everything on point, blah, blah, blah. And that's who she is. Like, why are you like that? Why can't you
Why
just
am I
like
like
loosen up a little bit and like just let it fly? Tell me.
Oh, why am I a perfectionist? Is that what you're asking
Yeah,
me?
I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, I think it's the perfection. Yeah, my perfectionism really does bother Efren because he's like on the fly, like let's just do it. Like he's an executor, and he doesn't care how he executes it. Like he just wants it done. Versus with me, I'm like, no, it needs to look like this. It needs to have this. It needs to have that. And he hates it because like we'll redo it and redo it till it's like perfect.
What's that TikTok that I sent you the other day? What's my superpower? And then I said, like, you annoy me while doing TikTok.
Yeah, literally. But then he gets into it too, and then it's so funny because
Oh my
now,
gosh.
like, he'll be like, no, I could do better, and then he'll want to redo the TikTok.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing, but
No, like my personality's kind of like ribbon on
Lord.
you, I think.
It could be. It could be. So yeah. So okay. So tell us. Okay. I want to say something that I don't think I've talked to you about this directly. I think I mentioned it.
Okay.
One of the things that I personally hate is on some of your comments on your videos is, I think on one of them, I think somebody called you like bottle service bunny or some shit like that.
No. It was when ex bottle girls joined the real estate yeah, like when
whatever
join the real estate world or something like that. A real estate business or something like that.
And so I remember looking at that comment and I really wanted to respond, but I didn't think it was my space to do so.
But he still did it.
Right. I'm real estate with a smile, and most of the time
that day he did not have a smile.
It pisses me off because I don't think that people understand the amount of work that you put in to your profession. So tell me what does that bring out in you as a professional and as a female?
I think before it would bother me, but then now I feel like I can see that it's coming from a place of insecurity from them.
Okay.
So something about my confidence or who I am triggers them.
So I will say this, there's parts that I dislike about you being a perfectionist, but there are things where I'm like, okay, I'm glad that she's that way. For example, on our deals. Okay. So I don't know where I rank in your partner, like list, because like you tell me that I'm not allowed to have other loan officer partners, but you have like, don't even laugh. You know where I'm going with this. And you do have a bunch of partners, blah, blah. But I probably say that I put more deals together with you than anybody else.
Yeah.
So that for me, that is something that I appreciate how much of a perfectionist you are, because you are very tedious with paperwork, calculations. Recently, you just saved a deal where somebody got denied because they didn't make their calculations right. So, so thank you for being that. And what makes you be like that on the business side?
I mean, I think it's like at the end of the day, it's a family at the other side of the deal. It's someone that's wanting to achieve that homeownership dream. And so I think of the family and it's like, how can I help them like make this a reality, So I feel like I think a lot about that. It's like, it's like you're messing with people's like livelihood. So I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to help them get into home ownership. I mean, how like maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. And I start to get creative, and like me, naturally, I am a very creative person. And I like to, explore option A, B, C, D until like we exhaust all options. And then if we really can't help the family, then it's like, I really can't do much at this point. But I mean, you know that I really do give it my all. And I don't know, I've always been that way, like even since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
You know?
And the way that I compare, her work to other loan officers is, ¿quieres volar con Volaris o quieres ir Delta? And that's just the truth. If you don't mind a bumpy ride and, where you get treated like shit, then go somewhere else. You know what I mean? You want to get treated the way you're supposed to. Come, let me throw in a plug. What's your phone number there, Marisol, for anybody who wants to get pre-approved?
Okay, so you can DM me at Home Loans with Marisol on Instagram and TikTok. But if you really want to give me a call, you can call me at my office line, which is 559-234-4921.
Okay, and just like that, Marisol, Home Loans with Marisol became the first sponsor. So,
hey, I support your business a lot, so I really do. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see you. I want to see you win. You
No,
you
yes,
win,
yes.
I win.
And I'll go there. That is one of the. Ya ves, hasta la pinche saliva se me salió.
Sin filtro.
Sin filtro, ni modo, valió madre. Where.
I'm like, don't sit there. Not until you disinfect it.
Me da gusto que no somos envidiosos, ¿sí me entiendes? O sea,
yeah, no, we're not.
En el sentido de que, así como nos gusta a nosotros salir adelante, nos da gusto cuando otras personas salen adelante también.
Yeah.
Que, I feel like there's enough room at the top. We had, this year and, last year, we had, not I want to say trouble, but, we dealt with personalities that not necessarily share that with us.
Yeah, especially, I don't know what it is about this industry.
No friends in the industry.
I feel like it's every industry actually, huh? Because like
I think when you're in sales, I don't know. I think even hasta los que trabajan de 9 a 5 es pinche envidia.
Yeah, I literally had this conversation with my parents, and my dad says, "Oh, I experienced it at work." And my mom was like, I experienced that at work too.
La neta, hasta en el field.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a quick story. So for those who don't know, I actually used to work in the fields when I was in high school with my grandpa, who just recently passed away. He's the first one that took me there. And pues nadie hablaba inglés. I was the only one.
Yeah.
So llegaba el ranchero y saludaba a todos, pero nadie lo saludaba a él porque, they didn't know, And so I responded, hey, how are you? And so el ranchero, pues he was like all surprised that I even answered.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, you come with me on the truck. And y me acuerdo que el mayordomo pues se me quedó mirando and he was like, what the fuck, And y pues el ranchero me llevó en la troca todo el día. So he was showing me like all the properties. He was actually telling me stuff that he wanted me to do. And so para otro día, el mayordomo, que era el raitero, pues ya no me quiso levantar. And so, he was jealous that I got paid to be riding the truck, con el ranchero all day. And y pues así pasa, you know what I mean? And it sucks because I feel like we can all lift each other and be happy for each other's success. And I feel like our professional relationship as well as our friendship it's like that. You know what I mean? And people can't take that shit sometimes. Yeah. What do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, I just think I personally think it's like we were talking about this before we had technical difficulties about that comment that I got about, and the thing is, like, I've never been a bottle service girl, but the thing is, like, they see a pretty girl and they automatically assume that she uses her looks to get business. And I don't know, I just think like those type of people that use things against you or que tienen envidia or, whatever it is, I think it comes from a place of insecurity. And again, I feel like a lot of the times they have to find excuses or reasons to find something wrong with you because that's the way that they cope with those, insecurities. Like they want to basically like put you down to put themselves higher. Right.
And so with that, I think I shared this story with you, but there are people that, want to be, the tallest skyscraper in the city, but they don't want to build the tallest skyscraper. They want to knock all the other buildings down. And I feel like we had some of that, last year, maybe even the year before. And
I feel like since you and I have started to work together, unfortunately, like we have experienced envidia. I feel like
Pues,
I don't remember.
que yo sepa, pues yo no tengo nada de quien me envidiar, la neta. Like, todo feo. Imagínate si estuviera guapo. You know what I mean? So,
Oh my God.
It's just the truth.
Dude,
Like,
he's
hey,
got his confidence through the roof, which is good. Which is good.
listen. Hey, yo me miro en el espejo, yo sé lo que hay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, te digo, por eso Dios me hizo chistoso y no guapo. Porque si no, imagínate. A ver tú, ahora, rate yourself.
I'm a 10.
And I'm the one with the fucking high. I'm gonna give myself a humble 7.5.
I'm a 10.
Si me pongo botas, pues maybe un punto más para arriba.
Soy un 10.
Y cuando lavo mi camioneta, sí soy un 10. But honestly, like I really enjoy everything. I mean, the fact that you're my first guest here says a lot. You know what I mean? We have gone through so much shit, to be quite honest with you. Last year was kind of like a blur to me. Personally going through some stuff, but I remember our stories from going to our leadership program, which like took up like, oh my gosh, how much time did it take?
Oh my God. All the little free time that we had was dedicated to that. And sometimes it would even roll into our work hours, It was intense. Yeah.
So, I got to say that was like the first time ever that this one over here like cussed me out.
Oh, yeah.
Like she was like legit mad at me.
Yeah, we definitely, if we were like, we had a brother and sister relationship before the leadership program, it just got even worse during the leadership program.
Yeah, she gave me the bird. She told me I was number one, and then so after that, because the course, the classes, they would go into like late night until we actually finished all the assignments, and it was pretty crazy. I'm gonna ask you a really deep question now.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, and share your goals. Would you mind sharing your goals and maybe some of your dreams or?
Okay. I mean, I don't know if I could share, but I'll tell you my philosophy on sharing my goals.
Okay.
I don't share my goals. I like to think like a lion. Work in silence and let your success be your noise.
Okay.
Like that's literally my model.
Okay.
Because sometimes you can say your goals to the wrong people. Te pueden hacer el mal de ojo or whatever, I mean, not that I believe, I do believe in it, but then I don't want to give that too much power,
La bolsa, el pinche ojito.
Yeah, I know. I mean, no le quiero dar tanto poder a eso. So I feel like
I think I'm with you on that one, like where
but they start to want to plant like doubts in your head of your goals, like, oh, like why do you want to do that, or that's too expensive, and like all of that. When you share your goals to the wrong people, they start to plant negative seeds in your mind.
Yeah, and I think that's what we were talking about the other day, right? And I'm kind of the same way. Even híjole, sometimes family, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe a lo mejor no lo hacen sin saber, but my grandpa, en paz descanse mi papá, mi abuelito era muy burlón en ese sentido. Like, si yo le decía, hey, papá, fíjate que vendí 5 casas y me van a pagar tanto. Even though that it was going to happen, he like did not believe it.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And so decía, ¿a poco sí? Or, ¿a poco? And so instead of like que te den un like a push up, it's kind of like they just like grab your head and toma, güey, so.
Y es que creo que nuestra cultura está tan acostumbrada a eso. I feel like our parents, to them, success is so out of reach. It's like impossible. Yeah. So that's why, like, sometimes they don't even do it on purpose. They don't even know they're doing it, Yeah. But it's because they don't have enough, like, the tools, the resources, the knowledge to know that it can be possible,
No, I agree. Like, there's so many, like, just, like, limiting beliefs. Something you can tell you can tell them, like, hey, look, I already done it.
Yeah.
Like, it's possible. Y igual no te creen, and so I respect that.
Yeah, and I think como desafortunadamente en nuestra cultura, no sé, like cuando le dices una meta a un amigo, como they start to clown you, like they start to like, I don't know, I just feel like, especially like Mexican culture, I feel like we're funny as hell. Like, don't get me wrong, like we are funny, like I don't know. I look at like the comedy that like Mexican people bring and I'm just like dying of laughter. But I also feel like sometimes like they don't know that sometimes when you clown on someone's like goals and aspirations, like you really kind of could bring them down, you know?
Okay, you know who's the best person at roasting me is?
Who?
My mom. She
Oh,
can
really?
roast me. Yeah, and it's not funny. You know my mom.
Yeah,
But,
your
yeah,
mom,
so
yeah,
my
yeah.
mom can definitely like roast me like with like sin piedad, güey, you know, like.
But is she like a positive roaster, or is she like a negative roaster where she actually brings you down and you're like, damn, that kind of hurt? Like,
I think it depends on her mood.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you know sometimes like she's like, si no anda de buenas, you know she's gonna roast you and she's gonna like stomp your ass to the ground, you know.
Yeah.
And then there's some where she's like in a good happy mood and you know she'll roast you. No te creas, mijo. Sí lo puedes hacer. Yo creo en ti. You know, and I feel like that's something that even with my kids, like I have to like watch out what they tell them. You know. For example, Isaiah. You know, he's going to start working with me and he's going to start looking at, you know, some possible like wholesale deals and helping me find all these distressed properties. And so I take him in with Scott and so Scott is telling my son Isaiah, hey, Isaiah, if you find property with, you know, this and that, I'll pay cash for it and we can close in 7 days. And so for us, that's something normal that we hear in our industry all the time. But, you know, for my son, you know, we're going back to the house. And he said, Dad, how come he said he would pay cash for it? And I was like, because he'll pay cash for it. And then his head was like, I could see him, you know, his wheels were turning. And he says, so you're telling me that Scott has, you know, $300,000 in the bank? And I was like, mijo, Scott is a multimillionaire, you know? And he was like, wait, so you're telling me he has millions in his, you know? And I was like, yes, mijo, like, you know, the man is a businessman and everything that you see here, like this is his world, where you know, and so and I saw his eyes, and I saw that like it just lit something up on him because he's never been around that. And I think if you've never been around a specific environment, is something's just not possible to you. So so what would you say right now, possible wise, or can we say income wise what your goal could possibly be?
I mean, I just want to be a rich bitch.
So, okay. All right. So
yeah. So no, I've always like that's always been my goal. Like when I was a little girl, I would tell my mom like, voy a ser rica, and that's still like till this day my goal is like I want to be a multimillionaire. You know, I want to make it, and I am gonna make it.
And you are, and I think you're so much closer to that than you give yourself credit for.
Thank you.
Because I see it from the outside. You know, people underestimate you, and that's also one of the things that we go to like a career day. We're actually going to be in Avenal.
Yeah.
We have another one.
And thank you so much for involving me in career day, because honestly, that's like one of my favorite days of the year. Like speaking to the children, and you know, it's from a very poor like town.
Hey, tampoco te pases. La verdad no es pobre.
It's poor.
La verdad no. Ay, ¿de dónde eres tú?
De Kerman.
Ay, sí, la gran cosa.
But like a lot of the Avenal kids haven't even seen like, to them Fresno is like LA, you know, or like San Francisco. Like they're like, wow, it is so big here. Like it's just so crazy.
Hey, puro Avenal, no se crean.
No, I'm not talking. I love going out there. Like I'm telling you, like I want to inspire like the children. Like like there's more. You know, more than this.
Mrs. Sweet Home Alabama over here.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe cut that out. I might get canceled.
No, we're
by the people of Avenal.
No. Para que te conozcan sin filtro, dijimos, no? So.
But I want them to dream big, and I want to make sure that the people of Avenal know that I like you. Like
she approves. She approves.
I like you.
Okay, this is one thing.
I want the kids to like dream big, because like I mean, you see it. A lot of the people like. I mean, a lot of the kids, like, they don't think it's possible because, like you said, they've never been around that. So if you're not around it, it's like, oh, my God, like, you could do that? Like, it's just so crazy to see, like, their wheels spinning and, like, their eyes light up. And that's, like, my favorite part. Of,
for sure, for sure. No, I like doing those events, too. And, again, I'm grateful that you are always, like, willing to do those with me. I actually have 4 sisters, and... You know, I grew up, you know, mainly with my mom. And so for you to be able to inject that spirit or that thought into young girls or young women, it's amazing to me, honestly, because in our culture, you know, females always think that they need to depend on a man, and I don't think that that's at all true.
Yeah.
Just the same way that I don't believe that a man should depend on a woman. It's always nice when it's a team effort, but for the most part, you could do good or bad all by yourself. You know what I mean? And so thank you so much for just for being my first guest here in my podcast. And
thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so we're gonna end with con un consejo.
Okay, so a really good quote, and it just kind of goes with the theme of today's conversation, talking about, envidias and all that. Just remember that when someone tries to put you down, confidence is quiet, but insecurities are loud.
Boom. So, there you go. So take that, use it, apply it, and we'll see you guys on episode 2.
See ya.
Deuces.